I've lived in New York City my entire life, and I have to say there is no other city quite like it. I grew up on the edge of the East Village and have lived there ever since. It wasn't until just recently I was able to step out of my everyday routine and learn what the city really has to offer. My interest in exploring began when I first watched Undercity, a short film featuring urban historian Steve Duncan. In the video, he visits several historic locations throughout New York City, including an Amtrak tunnel, the Canal Street sewer, and the Williamsburg Bridge. I was intrigued by his historic approach to urban exploration, so I contacted him and interviewed him over the phone.
My name's Steve Duncan. I started off as an urban explorer. Now I think of myself as halfway an explorer and halfway a historic preservationist. I started exploring the city when I came here for college. I'd grown up in suburban Maryland outside DC. And when I came in '96, I just kind of fell in love with the city. So at the time, exploring new places meant going to a new restaurant in Queens or something. That was really exciting. But I just kind of went from there and I never stopped. So I wanted to find tunnels and abandoned subway stations and little bits of the history that still existed. So the City Hall subway station is one of my favorite spots in New York because it's so important to what the city is, right? So the City Hall subway station was the flagship station for the first subway line, which ran from City Hall up along what's now the 456 line to 42nd Street, and then hooked along the route of today's 42nd Street shuttle, then went up north along the 23 line. But even though the City Hall station was the most ornate one and the most beautifully built, it didn't ever get all that much use because once they started running express trains, there was an express stop within walking distance. And there weren't enough people in City Hall Park to really make it worthwhile. So then they started using longer subway cars in, I think, the 1940s and 50s. So the curve of the City Hall station is too tight for those cars to get around and they make a horrible noise. And they leave too much of a gap, so the MTA was worried people would fall down into the gap. So what that means is that it's this kind of beautifully preserved bubble that's been mostly untouched for a half century by the time I was looking at it the first time. And it's really, really hard to get to, partly because it's right underneath City Hall, and so it's more of a secure spot, and partly because the trains come by and fill up the entire tunnel. So getting down there is pretty exciting, and it reminds you that this is actually a historical treasure. My theory is that when we think of exploring or learning about the environment, most of the time we think, yeah, people should go on hikes in a national park or something, learn about the natural environment. But in fact, starting just in the past decade or so, the majority of people on the planet live in urbanized areas. And in the US, I think we should include both suburbs and actual cities as urbanized areas, because even in suburbs, where everybody has a lawn, it's still that people are connected with infrastructure, information infrastructure, telecom lines, water supply, sewage. So it's a human impacted environment. I think we should try to learn more about those environments, and that means exploring them, even when the police don't like it.
about to go to a rooftop in Brooklyn, pretty well known in the IG. It's under a business establishment, so no one's really gonna pay attention to us. We're gonna try to get in there quick, get the shots that we need.
Yo guys, we did it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
No problem, you did the work.
Now we just gotta get our shots. Where are we out to?
We're out to the water tower right there.
I bet, let's go.
Let's do it.
Slow down, shadow, you killing them. Since a youngin' I was raised off Similac and Ritalin. I gotta put the Ritalin and genocide the middleman. Initial plan, the missile blam. I'm running off adrenaline. All black, Tim shit. Aim it at your fitted cap. We made a nigga nap, so nigga, you won't get your fitted back. So get back, cause them boys got chroma. They show you a glaucoma. You got bread, they got toasters. And all my Brooklyn niggas grimy G. They put us on the map and even haters screaming finally. Homie find the block, they said he worked for the law. So rumors round the hood, travel had the wire and jaw. Yeah, I leave him running like a faucet. And they got the 4/5 that make you forfeit, don't force it. So run back, and it's best for you if you don't come back. Cause you never caught a body, and I'm pretty sure they done that. So run that. Run that, run that, run that, run that. Run that, run that, run that, run that, run that. Motherfucker, run that, run that, run that, run that, run that. Run that, run that, run that, run that, run that. Yeah. Slow down, shadow, you killing them. Since a youngin' I was raised off Similac and Ritalin. I gotta put the Ritalin. We going hard, they giggling. We put the herb on the curb and make a bite that Timberland. Scum shit, screaming what? Cause I does it. Is you in it for the skrill my nigga? Yeah, so bust it. Whoever disrespect my intellect, that's an initial threat. We got the tech aim at your neck, so nigga better come correct. Boom, yes, who stepped in the room? They consuming resurrect. Boom, back from the tomb. It's the Ella Born Center. I was born in a facility, the belly of the beast. You keep your peace to keep your fucking peace. And all my New York niggas grimy G. They put us on the map and even haters screaming finally. Yeah, so take a look at all the irony. They say I never make it. Now your neighbor wanna side with me. Low-fee and me go. Yeah, I got an ego. Higher than a fucking eagle. Me and you, we far from equal. Everything I spit is lethal. Me, I'm solid, you do see-through. So make that wrong move. I put an end to your sequel when it's gone, nigga. Run that, run that, run that, run that. Run that, run that, run that, run that, run that. Yeah. Run that, run that, run that, run that, run that. Run that, run that, run that, run that, run that. Slow down, shadow, you killing them. Since a youngin' I was raised off Similac and Ritalin. I gotta put the Ritalin. We going hard, you giggling. We put the herb on the curb and make 'em like the Timberland.